Yeah, looks like a wave moving.
Oh, beautiful.
A wave moving.
So weird.
Wow.
That's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone who's lost in the woods. So you gotta say a prayer.
We will start with Psalm 24, 1 and 2. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it, for he founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. We'll pray. Father, thank you for this channel. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you for these stories. Thank you for all the ways that you protect us. Thank you for all the people that you guide that are out there fighting behind the scenes to try to protect others and to do for others that no one ever even hears about, Lord. Not only do they not get credit, but they get abused. Take care of them, strengthen them, help them to stay focused, Lord, and protect them. Protect all of us, Lord. And we love you. We love you, Creator. We love you, Father. We love this earth and we love everything in it. We know that the enemy is not supposed to be here, and we know that it is up to all of us to fight back against the enemy. That's all you ask us to do, to love you and to treat each other right and to treat your creations right. And that's why we're here. In Jesus' name, amen. Good evening. I'm Lead Tracker E, and this is Jerry Williams, also known as Lead Horse Choctaw. And it's been too long since we've done a episode for our series, Standing Feather Stories. Some things are happening in the news currently right now that show us that it's time to tell some more of the stories. So this is why we're here tonight. We appreciate each one of you for being here. We have 4 Facebook group pages. They are the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas, the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman and Son Center and Database, the Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path, and the Lead Tracker E page. We also have our book by the same name as, go ahead. They can see it better with you. Called The Predator Bigfoot and the Spiritual Warrior's Path, written by myself and Jerry Williams. And you need the information in this book. Whether you are native or non-native, this information is for everyone. And it's all about keeping you safe. We also have, this book is available on Amazon for $25. And you can also buy it from us. If you pay shipping, we will autograph it and send it out to you. So either way that you want to do that. And we have the Bigfoot documentary, which is also by the name of Antlers and Surrounding Areas. This is an old advertisement. Some of the information on there is no longer correct. It has now been reduced to $55, and none of the numbers on there are correct. We just wanted to show that we've reduced the price on that. Right now, for the month of May, we're selling a bundle package. A May sale, 1 autograph book and 1 documentary for $55 for both. That includes both of those and the $5 shipping and handling. We also have go ahead. We also have the Tracking Miracles and Encounters series that is on this page, and in there we talk about the way that God protects, specifically the trackers, because this is a tracker channel. The ways that He orchestrates and protects and surrounds us, and we never want to neglect to appreciate or notice the miracles, small and large, that the Creator does for us daily. And so those are those stories, just to draw more attention to that and to appreciate that. And so now we will begin with tonight. We're going to do the standing feather stories. And
this is where I explain a couple of stories, where the information, the knowledge comes from, the places that we went to gain knowledge and to bring it back. The behind the scenes, things that are not shown on national TV or even in films, of things that people have been doing to stop destruction, to stop nuclear plants from being built, people who are having to protest or protect their areas from intrusion. There's some things going on today. There was things going on. Well, there's always been things going on as far as the dwindling or the theft of Indian land and the intrusions that have been happening. So Standing Feather Stories is about standing feathers, or people who stand and who do things that normal people don't know about or can't do. Young warriors and people of the world who are making a difference by protecting the water for the children that are still coming also, and for the people who are there with now. We're going to be talking about a lot of that tonight also. So we're going to kind of catch back up on where we ended. We're going to start off with a short, small video of Standing Rock. Then we're going to progress on to a couple of stories and what we're talking about and where we're at today. So here's a quick video that when I was asked to go and help at Standing Rock, I was actually trying to get a serum from Cuba that it doesn't stop diabetes, but it allows the blood to continue to flow. So there wouldn't be any more amputees. It's illegal here for some reason. So we had to try to get that over the border and into the hands of the tribes so that it could be replicated and we could be using this serum. That was a gift to the traditional people. It wasn't a gift to what we would call the government people, or the government people, the people who are in the corporation Indians, or the corporation Indians, I should say. And some are good, and some are would really take this and use it for their gain. And we were going to give it to different tribes so that no one could control it, but it could be dispersed and given to the people who needed the serum. But there was people getting hurt at Standing Rock. I had no inclination about going there. I already knew that Obama and who the guy they called Dapple Dave had already sold that passageway. They had already made a deal with Obama at that time. And so we already knew, the people who knew, or the in crowd, I guess you would say, who had the information, already knew that deal was made. So we were off doing other things. Some of them were protesting in places with signs and stuff, but some of them were actually going camping and trying to get in front of these other pipelines to stop them from coming on to the Indian territories, Indian lands. And but they were still coming. So we had to go and help. I was asked actually to help when a woman had a concussion grenade had landed in her uh, uh, elbow area on this side, I guess, and it exploded, and that there was only parts of the bone that was left and a little bit of skin that was holding her arm together. And people were getting shot in the eye with the rubber bullets because there were snipers, there were mercenaries there who were doing this, who took pleasure in shooting people. And so a few of us who were trying to, and there was a couple trying to get this serum, heard about Standing Rock and everything. So um, some other warriors had given us a call and said that they needed us to go to Standing Rock and help of what's going on up there. That people were getting hurt, and we was like, they've already sold out. I mean, you want us to go up there and just stand in a line of fire with them? That's not the best thing for us to do. And plus, we still have other things that we're still doing behind the scenes to help other people. But of course, uh, we were told we need y'all up there, and this is from other warrior societies. They were saying we need y'all up there to help them, and these other warriors were doing other things in their area, so they couldn't go. And I was doing something else. I was in Florida, so I had to drive all the way back up to um, Standing Rock, North Dakota, which I didn't know where it was. And I don't, like all trackers do, we don't like to use GPS or anything to give our locations and things, our travel. So, but I did know some people in Parmalee, and if you've ever been up the Rosebud and all those areas, um, I'd met with some people years before. I was delivering brand new jackets, winter clothing, furniture, household goods, and I wouldn't accept anything that wasn't brand new, or it had to have the either tag on it, or because I didn't want to give any clothing or things that people needed um, that I wouldn't want myself if somebody was gifting me something. So we went to Standing Rock, and our passage was safe with the prayers. There was one night where my vehicle, the back wheel was all it was rough out there. If you were out there, you understand. Potholes, mud holes, snow, everything that could go wrong with your vehicle was out there, and the rotary of my back tire was it wasn't going anymore, and it took me a little time to raise some funds to get that fixed, and so it still wasn't fixed on this day that we're talking about. And I was up on the second floor of the Prairie Nights Inn. Like again, if you've been there, you understand. That's where we went to go take showers, get warm, different kind of foods, and things like that. There was like 50 people bunking in rooms if they had to because it was warmer there. It was something everybody was used to, so nobody mind sharing rooms or whatever. So on this day, I was with the Warriors all this time, ever since I got there to Standing Rock. A lot of people may have heard a little bit about this, but when I walked into the area of the tent where everybody was, people I knew, and a lot of young warriors that I didn't know, but that word was already given that I was heading that way through other warrior societies, and I was going to help up there. So people knew I was heading that way, and there was another man in there who I'd met years before, and in talking with him and sharing ceremonies and things that we do, because he did have native bloodline, but later I found out that he worked for the military as an infiltrator to get in with the people and to get the names and to disrupt everything, get information, send it out. And so on my way there, this person was already at Standing Rock, kind of using my name and everything, saying that he knew me and that we was friends, and that he'd been to where I was staying in that village. He had lots of good friends. He had a couple of names, so that kind of confused a lot of the younger warriors who knew people in that area. So, but they told him that I was coming up there and that I would be there. Actually, in that afternoon, because I didn't let anybody know until I was close enough to let them know I'm about to be there. And so when I walked in, these young men, young Indian men, maybe Lakota, I'm not sure, kind of stopped me at the door because I knew, the people, but I didn't know these people that were with them. So they were being kind of protective. And finally, we got to the conversation of them asking me how long I'm going to be staying here. And I said, well, until it's done, until it's finished. And he goes, because everybody here comes and they leave and they stay a little bit and they leave, but nobody stays. That's well, the children called us. And that's actually the reason I went to Standing Rock, was because the children put a call out. And that was the deciding factor, because some of the children had sent a video and they had tears and they said, nobody's standing, nobody can help us. So our couple of different warriors from different tribes decided to go up and help out. So on this day that we're talking about, one of the days, it's just one of the days, there was a big standoff happening, going on. The mercenary groups, Tiger Swan, I'm sure Blackwater was in there. Other agencies from different counties were there, all paid. They were off duty, so they were all paid to be in these uniforms, using emergency vehicles for this. There was also rocket launchers, military helicopters, regular planes, private helicopters, and they were all dropping rat poison on everyone at Standing Rock. And so many people got sick from that. And also their nervous systems were damaged while we were out there. So on this night, there was a altercation going on, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody because I was trying to get my vehicle fixed, but nobody was answering their phone. And when that happened, that means everyone's radio dark. Everyone's where they're supposed to be. But I was at the hotel trying to get this fixed. And so I sat down, and I was on the second floor, and one guy, light skin, come out with a turban. And, I was still on my phone trying to get through and everything. And he leaned over and said, have you been down to the camp? I said, well, yeah. I said, but I'm actually trying to get back down there, and because I can't get anybody on the phone, that means something's going on. And I didn't know it, but this guy was from Al Jazeera TV, which is supposed to be a worldwide news, some kind of news. I know they have a lot of goofy commentary, but they do share some things that are going on in the world. And so he had asked me if I wanted to go down there. I said, well, yeah, I've been trying to get down there all day. And so he goes, well, let me get ready and let me get my camera and we'll go down there. And so I said, okay. So I on the way down there, I finally got through. And that was to Julian, which is he's part of the AIM. Actually, he's one of the head guys for the AIM in California. Great guy, though. Now, I told him when I was coming down, I had this guy from Al Jazeera, and that he would be able to get them some news coverage, which I wasn't in for that or doing anything like that. It was just, I was there helping, organizing. I united a security force. It wasn't to go against the onslaught because we didn't have weapons, but it was to help the people once these altercations happen, to either get in front of them or take the bullets, take the rubber bullets. We had them padded up, helmets. We gave them shields. We made some shields for them, and it was to help pull out other people, the people who got maced, for milk and water and things like that, to get the stuff out of their eyes, and to pull them out with snowmobiles if we had to. So all of our guys were trained that way, and we were organized. And on this night, all the guys that we were with were holding that front line, and they were the ones who had organized that to resist that night. And so I came in. I finally got there. Julian met me, and he had said, "Well, let's go to the front. We'll take you up there." Of course, Al Jazeera's with us, and when Julian was walking through, all of our guys were up there too. So everybody was just kind of parting while we were walking. So it was just like three of us walking to the front, and everybody stepped to the side. And we got there, and Al Jazeera, I said, "Talk to these guys, because there's the ones who are resisting, the warriors here who are holding it down." And so they started talking, and of course, some of the guys, they all think I talk a good game. Even though I organized and helped them with their night runs or day runs, organizing their times, sleep duties, and things like that. But they still felt like I talked a good game. I talked a lot, telling them what to do and everything, as far as this is what I would do, this is what I would do, this is what I would do. And so while Al Jazeera is talking to the warriors there, of course, some of the younger ones said, "Hey, lead horse, you want to get up on the wall?" And it was a cement pylon, what are they called? Brick, those cinder blocks, kind of stacked up, kind of like a T, kind of like a top of a pyramid kind of thing. And I looked up there. I said, "Well, there's a lot of people up there," and they said, "No. Well," everybody started getting down and getting down. I said, "Well, okay, I'll get up there." Now, when you're going to stand up in this thing, you're a target now. You're not behind those cinder walls. You're standing on the wall, what we would call skylining and tracking. Standing up, showing yourself, casting a shadow, but even though it was nighttime, but skylining is standing up there where people can see you at a distance. So some of these young guys got out of the way. They were by the cinder blocks. It was big enough where they could look over, but of course there were snipers over there, so they were watching and listening for those pops. And so they all got out of my way, and I made my way up, except I stood on top of the cinder blocks. And so all the military that was over there, Tiger Swan, all them, and I know people like that. I know they have permission to hurt people, to do whatever needs to be done. They will kill if they have an opportunity. I know that. But also I know that we have to make our presence known. We have to make our stand. We can't just let people or anybody, even demons, even predators, take over our territories or run us over or run us out of our own areas. And that's why we do what we do now with the predator Bigfoots. They're the ones who are intruding. So at this time, I'm standing up on the cinder block out there in front of everybody, and I just start talking at that time. So I want to share this because a lot of people haven't seen this. This is on the front lines. This is right on the bridge. This is Tiger Swan. This is us. Most of the warriors that I was helping and teaching. There were AIM guys there. There was people from all over the world, really. And so I got up on to the top, and I want to show this video real fast of what happened at that time. This is a lesson to all our people who joined the forces.
Yeah.
I used to be there. Never do this. Always protect water. Always protect life. Never be like this. All our children never go to the military. All our children learn water is life. World covers. Let the world know. Let all nations know. All of our youth who are in the military now, do not do anything like this. You're there to protect people, to protect life and water. Don't ever be like this. Yes, if you want to protect people, you come here. You want to protect water, this feeds 18 million people. Protect life. And that was the thing too. It's not just, it's not all Indians are the same. Some of those Indians will sell us out for money. Not all white people are the same, not all black people, not all Asians. You got good people, but you also got people who were raised a certain way to where they think it's okay to harm another. And as children, we all went through that school. We all was either some were picked on, some were bullied, some were bullies, some were stayed out of everything. And some were kind of like me. I was always in between. I didn't care if you had a penny or $1 million, as long as you were good to me. We're going to be friends. So I didn't fall into those cliques. I didn't fall into, even though I was a sports athlete and things like that, I would always make sure everyone was invited to whatever kind of thing it was. And if they weren't invited, I would make sure that I went with them. But these people at Standing Rock, the ones who were willing to contaminate not only the water that the Indians were using, but 18 million of everyone else. 18 million other people were going to be contaminated and did get contaminated. So they did drink and they did ingest some of this stuff because that pipeline has broke more than once. I'm thinking at least 3 times. 2 that I know for sure. But it was designed to get into that waterway to pollute it. I remember I was with another group of people who were protesting I think it was like a pollutant kind of factory that was dumping into the river system. And we were having a ceremony and they asked me to go get the water. And so I was about to dip my hands and I had a bowl to scoop the water, but then I stopped for a second. And one of the women said, don't be afraid of the water. And I said, I'm not afraid of the water, but what's in it? And so I scooped the water and carried it up the hill, and it was for the ceremony. And that next day and the whole week, my hands, they got real crackly. They dried out. They started flaking. They started taking those flakes off. You can see that other red skin underneath it. So this is what people were drinking there, and this is what people would be drinking with this pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline. That's what we were trying to stop. We were trying to stop it for everybody. And a lot of people from all over the world came to help. but not everybody came to help. Those 18 million people that we were doing this for, they could have came and helped. They could have said something, but they didn't. So they got the pollution, they got the pollutant. And I'm sure it's in their water right now too. All those people down through there. we this same here's a the photo. It's kind of a famous photo. It's a photo of myself, but it's also called The Last Man Standing. And this has been on censored news and some other indigenous networks, not on the mainstream media. That's when I was captured on the last day, 4 days in their jail. I was maced. Um, I didn't get into the orange clothing that they wanted to try to put me in. I told them I'm not a prisoner, I'm a captive. We came to help you. And it was the Standing Rock Sioux who arrested. Not arrested, they kidnapped because there was no charges or any reason to do that because we were on private land and we had permission by the owner to be there. So they didn't have any right to come in there. So I did 4 days, no food, no water, no shower, and I still had the mace and the orange stuff on my face. I wiped it off best I could. But we were doing this for everybody. It wasn't just for our children; it was for everyone's children. We did get a lot of support from a lot of people, but sometimes we need more than a phone call. Sometimes, just like us, we have to go. Even with the Bigfoots, the predators, we have to go there to help physically deter, physically track and locate, and physically do all the work that we can to help another person. We do that free of charge, even though people do gift us with funds for fuel and food, and we do appreciate that. But doing all these things, it's our responsibilities to go and stand and to go. If we don't stand, those children of tomorrow, they won't even know that there was people who could have stood. So you can't trust all Indians, and not all Indians have the same information. Not all Indians have the same knowledge. Uh, the ones who were taught to be more corporate, those would sign a paper, would take money um, at the expense of you or other people of the tribe, and we've seen this done. So we stood up there, Standing Rock, and this same group that I'm gonna talk about a little bit more, but the same group who I was teaching about, doing that security, how when you're driving or hitting that snowmobile at nighttime, when you come up through a light or something to close one eye, so you can drive through it and you won't lose your night blindness or night vision. But if you keep both eyes open, you go through just a little bit of light, you're going to lose it and you can wreck on the other side. So things like that, of also taping all your brake lights, your front lights, your interior dash, and things like that. I remember a guy come up to me one time and looked in the vehicle and he seen that everything was taped out. There was no lights whatsoever. Radio was covered. And he said, "Oh, you've been doing security?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I've been doing a little bit." So, but people do this. I mean, it's to teach you and to keep you safer, because those car lights, when you hit those brakes, they show up everywhere. But if you have them covered, you can still maneuver without being seen. So you can't trust everyone, and that's just what we're saying. There's the people here, good people. We couldn't ask for better viewers and better people, better trackers. All good-hearted people, children of God, great people. But there are still people out there who would hurt another, who doesn't know the consequences of their actions. And just like the Romans back in the day with Jesus, they didn't know their consequences for what they were doing
We
until
would call them agents of darkness.
agents of darkness, until they found out. When they found out the devil's real, when they found out hell was real, and the things that they were accountable for their actions. These are things that we have to live by today, because eternity is right here in front of us. It's that next step, and it can happen anytime with anybody. So I want to show you, because the same men we're going to be talking about, we're going to go a little further with them. But after Standing Rock, because we did a whole deal on Standing Rock, maybe one of the two.
It's in one of the past Standing Feather stories.
And so I talked to these young people, and we were at the last day of Standing Rock, and well, the last week of Standing Rock. Now, there was a child there the day before the last day happened, and we got some mail in and had that child read what the other children had sent from New York and Bronx and those areas. Well, Bronx, New York, to what they were sending support. And these are children, sending support for all the warriors who were still there, because there was a lot of people that just came there to take things and steal a lot of things that we needed, supplies that we needed. But there were so many people there, people were just loading things up that we needed. We're going to show you a real quick video. It's parts of Standing Rock, so that you see a little bit of what happened, and then we'll move on to the next one. But the prayers, the last ceremony that we had, that was a healing ceremony. That's when we thanked everybody for coming and standing with us against the intrusions, standing for the water, standing for the land, standing for each other. Because some people sometimes went hand in hand, arm in arm, even though they were getting shot, knocked down. That person would get pulled out, and the next one would stand up and keep going, or that person would get shot down too. But these are things that we were doing. We were taking all this punishment just to protect that water, for not just for Indian children, but for everyone that was going to be affected. So we're going to show this real quick video. You'll see the letters, and you'll see a couple things that went on there, and then we will continue right after that. there, as you've seen, there was the military, off-duty agencies, all there to stop us from protecting the water. From
They also had missile launchers. They had the microwave machines.
the RADs, the LRADs. That's where they could microwave you from a distance, and people could feel that, and they were using these things on regular people. We weren't at war; we were just protecting the water in that area.
And none of that is the way it was played in the news, in the
No.
mainstream news.
We were the bad people
Yeah.
at that time, and that's the thing. We're not the bad people. We're the ones protecting these things. So that same group, after everything happened at Standing Rock, there's a whole new group of protectors now. Everyone knows that there's other things that we can be doing to help. We always had to look at the future, where we're going, and are these kids going to have water? Or, it was those kind of things that we were all going through. But now there's a lot of young warriors who are learning how to do certain things and how to stop certain things. And we've been through those areas, so we were the experienced ones, sharing our knowledge with them, just like we do with our trackers. We're sharing all that life experience also as well. We've been in certain situations, and we know what's going to keep you safe. That's why we do those things. So this same group, after all this had happened, and I was released from jail, there was a federal marshal or federal agent come in. He's the one that released me and got me out of there. And he said if I ever needed him ever again, to give him a call. I may have his number still. I'm not sure. But he hasn't been able to do anything I needed him to do since. He wouldn't give me the information I wanted. But if anybody ever looks in my background, you may find, and I hope you do, my FBI number, because I was told that in one of the jails that I had one. And all before everybody goes crazy, all my jail stories are because protesting, protecting, land protecting, water protecting,
people protecting.
It's always been to get me out of the way, and it'd be hard to find a lot of that because none of the charges were really there. It was more or less just to get me out of the way. But this group that I'd been with, they had asked that if I would go and help them. And I had just came back to grab some gear, and I was heading back out because I had a protection detail for a friend of mine. Her daughter was in New York City, and I happened to be in New York at that same time. So I told them, I said, I'm just here to grab some gear. I got a protection detail. And there was a couple of them, and they said, well, we want to go. We're going to be in New York City too, but we're going to go and try to stop this ship. It was the Columbus ship coming through the Albany Riverway, which they didn't have permission to do that. And the tribes there were saying they don't have permission to come through. That's an invasion. So I told these young warriors that if you go with me on this protection detail, then I'll go with you and stop this ship. And so they agreed, and we all piled in. It was a tight fit because everybody's going to ride together. So everybody's squeezed in, probably about 8 or 9 people, probably. Now, this person that we had a protection detail for is a friend. She's a friend also, but her mother was my first friend of that family. And some of you may know her. Her name is Berta Cáceres. And if anybody knows the name Berta Cáceres, then you will know that she is or was the Lenca leader of the Lenca tribe in Honduras, in which I was there for a while. In this picture here, we had actually walked over 2 mountains to get to where an illegal dam was being built. It was on the other side of the mountain, but it belonged to the Lenca tribe. So I spent the whole day climbing 2 mountains with this group. And Berta, she was the leader, so she went up to the men there who were holding weapons. And in the Honduras, it's also known as the murder capital of the world. Not many people get in trouble for killing another there, especially if you're a government person or a military or their police. They do not get reprimanded. Also, often, not unless it's to cover something up or to use as a scapegoat. So this is Berta, and I went to some of their meetings. This is myself. I don't know the gentleman's name in the middle, but that's Berta on the other side. And that was a very big meeting in the mountains with another village. Berta also visited myself and the Choctaw people and was at the World Series, and that's the championship game is behind us. We're on the field. This is Berta Cáceres. So she had got to visit the Choctaw people, and we were talking about the things that were going on with her tribe and things that possibly that we could help with. And she returned home, and she was assassinated not too long after that. And they tried to take her heart. They tried to cut her heart out. But it was a sacrifice, and it was an assassination because she was trying to protect her people, the land, and the water. And these are things that we know can happen because there are people that are not, they don't fear God. They think that they're not going to be touched, that they think they're not going to have to be held accountable for what they do here. But they will be. So I talked with these young men, and I said, well, again, of course, if this is the person that I have to go and help protect. She's a friend, and she's also the daughter of my other friend who had been assassinated. So I was going, and I'd done this twice. I think this was the second time, but once I knew she was in the area, I would always go there and sit with her or watch her until she left and was safely on that plane going home. I remember, so we went, they agreed. So we went. This is after Bertha Ziniger had her talk and shared the information with the group that she was here to see. These are other people that have genocide happening to their people as well in the Honduran area. But that's my friend in the middle. Her name is Bertha, and her mother is Berta. So let's not get those confused. But the best people in the world who are just going through a bad time because people want to have their land. They don't want them there. They want their resources. So a lot of these women have been in jails before. A lot of the people have been in jails protecting these areas. So just a real quick story of whenever we made it to where we were supposed to be, but she didn't know that we were coming. So we're making our way. We want to come unannounced, but just get there. We got to this street and it had it was an empty street. There was doors like hotels and things, but they weren't open. We had the address, and we was kind of right in front, and we didn't see anybody outside. This was a private meeting, and we didn't know that either. But one person came out of a door and was walking down the road, and I looked at one of the guys because he was kind of looking at me. I said, "Go ahead." So he reached over and grabbed that door before it shut, and he opened it up. He said, "There's people in here." So we said, "Okay, well, let's go in and see if this is the right place." So we got in. You're supposed to be either that person had run their car or something. It just happened to where we had just that sliver of enough just to get in. And once we got in, Bertha was very busy. This was what she was there to do. So, and I let her know, we're just here, just do your thing. We'll keep watch. And we had all the other guys watching. We introduced so that they knew who was with us. She went and did her thing. But I myself, I was just so tired. I was going here, going there, going here, going there. That on the next floor, the second floor, there was a little chair. And I told some of the guys that if they would watch her to make sure nothing happens, and told them where to stand, what position to watch the whole crowd the best, that I just need 5 minutes. I just need a little quick nap. And so later, I go upstairs. I just want to take a quick nap. And one of the guys said, "I'll watch you while you sleep, so you can, so no one comes up." So he was watching while I was sleeping, and I woke up to a little tug, and it was Bertha. And she said, "You're here." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm here." I said, "I'm sorry, I fell asleep, and I try to wake up." And she's laughing. She said, "No, no, 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 no. You sleep. You sleep. We'll be okay. And I still have a little bit more to do, and then I'll meet you afterwards." And I said, "Okay, okay." So I got to sleep a little bit longer, and but the other men, they were watching, so everything was secure. They knew what to do also. So when afterwards she came by and we talked, and we stayed with her from that entire time. We were her personal bodyguards. We went to the airport with her. We walked into the airport, went as far as we could before their security there would take care of her. And we all said goodbye and gave her a big hug. And she actually, on the way to the airport, she slept all the way there. And I was just as quiet as I could be. And the cab driver wanted to talk a little bit, and I kept going, because you got your friend there, and your friend has found it so peaceful and safe with you that she could let her guard down and just let her body rest. And if you could have seen her, she just kind of slumped, like she just needed some rest. And then so we got all the way there, and that's when I had to wake her up. But she even apologized for sleeping, but I said, "No, no, 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 you needed that." And so I walked her inside and bid her farewell. I waited there until her plane took off, left the ground. I was in that airport, or our whole protection detail was. So now those young men, those young people did their part. The part that I asked, if you will help me, I will help you. And here's a picture of some of the people. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Some of the people here, the young people up on top, and that's me on the very right side. But these young people all came to stop this ship. There were different tribes there that, let me see, do I have? there was different tribes that are all uniting together. Not just for, I mean, we came there for the protection of Bertha, but the young men, they needed to stop this ship. And this is their territory as far as, their tribe's location. And the government or the corporation Indians don't like to interfere with commerce. And so it had to be up to the young people, up to the young warriors to do their standing. So these are the same ones that I was helping at Standing Rock get unified. And I was actually late. I'd given the men some ribbon shirts, like this young man here in the blue. That's one of my ribbon shirts. And the young man on the far right side in the red one with the yellow ribbons hanging down, the one in the blue and the one in the red, closest to the picture. They didn't have ribbon shirts, so I gave them to them, young warriors, to wear and now to have, or then after that to have. But they had all gotten into canoes and went down river, a whole bunch of different tribes, different people of all nationalities were coming together to say no, you don't have permission to just come through here without asking us. But again, you can't trust all Indians. So here we are. I'm actually at the top. You have to walk down the stairs and have to walk down the dock, and then there will be the ship. And there was a whole big old crowd of people down at that ship. I want to show that to you real fast. Right here. And these are some of the young warriors who I was with. Also, they're standing there. The captain of the Columbus ship is there. They're having a disagreement as far as are they allowed to come through? And if they are, where's their papers? Who gave them permission? And so I'm up on the very top, and again, the young ones are saying Lead Horse talks a big game because he's not down here on the dock with us. But I was up on the top talking to some other people, and the guy who was at the very top, his walkie-talkie went off and said that we're having a disagreement or disturbance down here, and if you can send some people to clear the dock. So they was actually going to go and push all the Indians off the dock, and if you know how those altercations happen, someone may get thrown into the river, if not everybody, because the Indians don't like to back down either. So we're down there, and some of the youth that I'm with, I call them youth, they're men, young men. They were on their phones, and they were showing what they were doing, because these are young protectors doing their jobs out there. But all the other people on Facebook and things like that were calling them like, you haven't done anything. They're still there. You haven't stopped anything. You talk a big game, but you haven't stopped it. There's people still coming onto the ship and everything. Nothing was stopped. While the people who were designated to talk to the captain of the Columbus ship were the corporation Indians. Even though they wore traditional clothes, you knew that they were not fully like a traditional person. I'm saying their minds aren't the same. When we say stop it, we mean stop it. We don't mean let's negotiate to stop it. We're saying it stops. So I'm up on the top, and I hear that there's to send people to clear the dock. So I thought, I guess I better get down there. So I start making my way down there, And these young men, well, I get there and I kind of hear what's going on. I'm standing like behind the captain, and I'm hearing them negotiate. This other chief trying to negotiate. I'm not sure if he was the full chief, but so I stopped and I turned around and told the captain, I said, "We need you to dock your ship until we can inspect it, and we'll let you know when that is." And he turned around and he said, "Okay, we'll do that." And I started turning around. I said, "All right, let's go." So I turned around, and that same chief guy turned around and said, "Well, what about the doctrine of discovery?" And they started getting into another conversation. And these young men, because I'm still there, they talk to me. They said they're not going to stop it. These chiefs ain't going to stop it. They're trying to negotiate. They're talking about the doctrine of discovery instead of stopping what's coming through. And they say even all the Indians on the Facebook, because warrior societies are connected even on Facebook, they were saying, they're kind of calling us like chickens because we haven't stopped anything. Everything's still going. That chief's over there negotiating. So I looked at him. I said, "So what do you want to do?" They said, "We've got to stop it. We've got to stop it." I said, "Okay, well, let's stop it." And they looked at me and said, "Well, how do we do that?" I said, "Well, there's only one plank that they're coming in on. Let's go stand in front of that plank and stop them and let nobody get on it." And they said, "Well, we'll do it if you do it." So I said, "Okay, let's go." So I walked over, stood right in the very center of that plank where people were coming on. And the next one come up and stood. Next one come up and stood. Next one come up and stood. So our group is now stopped anyone from coming onto that ship. Everything just stopped. Now that chief and the captain, they leave. They go up the aisle. This is when other people come in with shiny shoes and clean cuts and sunglasses and nice crisp white shirts came in. And we know these people too, and we know what to look for. So here's a picture of us having this talk before we stopped the Columbus ship from coming through. And Oklahoma are the people of the North. Chata is Choctaw people. And we're talking about the theft of people, the rape of people, slavery, taking people against their will, and that we don't want that here on our land. We don't want anything like that here. So we made pretty big news and we stopped it. But again, not all Indians are the same. That chief came down and said, "We talked with the captain and they're going to meet us at the next port, and that's where we're going to get to have our say." And I said, "You agreed to letting them go through to the next port?" He said, "Yeah, we're going to talk." And they said they're going to let us have our say then. And I said, "Do you understand that you're letting them get through and you're asking for permission to speak downriver?"
They just buckled.
They buckled. So not all Indians are the same. We had them out of the water already, but they negotiated. And you can't do that. So all these things have to do with the things that we're doing today, even with the Predator Bigfoot, the tracking team, giving this information out to everybody, sharing ancient knowledges, sharing all the information. We're trying to prepare everybody for what's here right now. There are things that happen in the world that are small, but they can still be corrected. We all need to go in a certain way. We all, like we were talking about, we only have one enemy. It's not each other. Is that what the?
Yeah, that's what I had written too. We're all fighting the same enemy.
And that is the devil. That is the Satan. We have one enemy. We don't need to be fighting each other. We got these times are here now. The predators are here now.
In human and animal form.
Human and animal form. So I'm going to show just a little bit because, and then we'll catch back up with the young warriors, that we've been doing things for quite a while. Behind the scenes is what Standing Feather stories are about. Let people know what happened behind the scenes. So we wanted to show this video of a little bit of my past so that people understand a little bit more. We're going to play this for you, and then we'll be right back. So that was a little bit of some of the things that we've done in the past. You've seen Standing Rock in there. You've seen um, just a lot of things in the past that we've done behind the scenes. It's weren't or wasn't in the news, or even if it was, it wasn't told correctly. It was always twisted to where we're the bad person for stopping or interfering with their destruction. Also, I just forgot to mention that I was offered $3 million a year annually to shut up, step aside, and to never stand up again. But of course, I declined that and stayed with the people. But like we were saying, it's all that we have one enemy. We're at the day and age now that there shouldn't be anyone trying to hurt another race or another nationality, or however you even want to try to divide the people up. We're not trying to divide anybody up. We have one enemy, and that enemy is the one that we stay focused on. With the things that we do, when we go out in the field, we have trust in God that we're going to be okay, that we're going to make it back. We there's no fear out there. I've heard I've heard people who have channels talk about, well, if they seen these things, that they would be scared like everybody else. But we know they're here. We know what they look like. We know their size. We know where they hunt. We know what they do. We're already prepared for that encounter. We're already prepared for all that. We know that if one engages, we all engage. We know all these things already. We know those things can be driven or used by demonic entities. We know that demonic entities are everywhere. There's people that get demonized, what some people would call possessed. This is what the battle is. It's racism should not even be a problem or a factor right now or ever. We've been just taught to be that way to each other. One of the things that we just want to show this, a couple of real quick, well, this one's going to be real quick. Now, this is a song which I sang. It's been a long while since I sang in the Choctaw language, so we didn't get to finish the entire song. I think the rest of it wasn't Amazing Grace. It was How Great Thou Art or something.
There were several,
Okay.
but we could only get one to load today.
So this is a Choctaw song also. It's a Choctaw church hymn. And this is what we're talking about. And before we knew the word God, we said creator. It's the same. The creator of everything. That's the one we're talking about.
How can you get that wrong if you're talking about the creator? There's only one creator. How can people take offense to that?
In any language, in any symbol, God is God. The creator is it's the first, 3 letters in the Bible. Creator of everything. But we also have different responsibilities to people. We can't let, or we don't let other people's racism interfere with what we got to do. We don't just go to Indian homes and help protect them and to help deter the creatures from coming to them. We go to whoever asks, whoever needs help, We do it all for free. We don't ask because we know that when we say, well, you need some game cams, you need some this, that, most of them like, I can't afford, game cams, or I don't even know where to get them. So most of the time we take our game cams until we can get everything deterred and chopped and pushed back. We stay with the family as long as we can, teach as much as we can while we're there. We want to show this next video of one of our trackers who was in the course, but he had passed before the course had passed. It was something that he had an operation years before, and it broke apart, and it caused a lot of damage in him. But he only wanted us to come there to meet us, and we wanted to meet him, but also to meet his family and kind of let his family know what's around. It's always like if that one person nobody will listen to, but if someone else comes in and says the same thing, people start to listen for some reason.
And from us, this was his last request for us. He could have asked for anything else, but he asked us to teach his children about the dangers that were out there. His grown children and his grandchildren, they're still his children, to teach them. That is how important that was to our friend you're about to see.
And we had the question because it was a long way to go, and we were short of funds again. Kind of like, well, we can, but we're going to be broke again if we go. And so we prayed about it, and we got a phone call like 15 minutes after that prayer that was from the sister of our other friend, Parkway. His sister called, and she thanked us. His aunt, I'm sorry, called us and said, and they thanked us for visiting with him and being his friends, and how it meant to him and how it meant to us as well, and that we're going to keep our friendship. But that was the confirmation we needed to say, okay, then that means we got to go. So we loaded up and we went to go see our friend, and a tracker that didn't make it all the way through, but we know that he would have regardless. He wasn't a person who wasn't going to.
And before we left, and he had wonderful, wonderful family. Before we left,
he wasn't supposed to make it to Christmas.
Yeah. And we were there right, just right up until Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. But before we left, Jerry left his Choctaw Veterans jacket with the caretaking daughter, and asked that she give it to our friend after we left. And so a couple of the pictures that you'll see where he's holding a jacket, we call him Yellow Hawk. That's what he's looking at, is that jacket. He didn't know that Jerry had left his own jacket behind for him. And that was just that was very moving to me.
And he's also a Choctaw Cherokee mix also. I want to say maybe Irish or European or something. But being a part of a tribe, being part of people too, he had always talked about it. So, and he was a veteran of the military, of the Army, same as I was.
And so was Parkway.
So we talked about it, and I said, well, let's leave this jacket for him, give it as a present because he doesn't have this, and he'll know it's from us, and that we'll see him or that we're heading out. And so we got to see him the next day and talk with him, let him know that we're going to have to try to make some time up and try to get back, because we had scheduled it. We thought we was a day off or something. And but then again, they were going to go to another place to have a big family Christmas get together, which of course he wasn't expected to make it to that time. But we got to be with him, got to have some prayers.
and he lasted several. He was given several more months.
He was given several more months to make everything right that he needed to make right. And we talked with him about certain things. So we got to forgive. We got to let our families know that they're going to be okay. We got to apologize for any harm that we've done to them. We have to let them know that God is real.
And we have to forgive others.
Yeah. And so this is the video of us going on our last dime, so to speak, to get there, to do this. And we do apologize to some people who may have found it, I don't want to say offensive, but we were not communicating to people at that time, especially when we travel and things like that. So if we didn't return your phone calls or anything at that time, it's because we were on Radio Dark, which if you've been with us for a while, you understand why we do that.
And when you have friends who have been assassinated, you understand even more why we do that. And we've been followed. And so, you know, people get angry with us sometimes because they feel like they're being neglected.
Yeah.
By us personally, but just understand that we're focused. We're still thinking of you. We still love you.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing each task that we feel led to do right then.
There was another friend of mine who got their house broken into. I believe they cut their ears off and cut their face to get them to quit protecting the waters in some areas. So we take our precautions and we teach it on how to travel back and forth safely. As Lead Tracker was saying, I have had friends assassinated, assaulted, beat, kidnapped, and things like that. So we take things serious when we're doing things. Now this is our friend Yellow Hawk, because we want to show you that we go where we have to go.
These are real people.
Real situations.
Crowded places, feel it sinking in. Lonely faces, say you need a friend. No matter the distance, I will always be there. No more inhibitions, I'll show you I care. You've been lost and alone in the city of late at night.
That was our friend Yellow Hawk Harper. It was an honor to meet with him and spend time with him and his family. He was a good man to know and to spend that time with. And I want to thank everyone who helped get us there and get us back. Your support is greatly appreciated for that. But we did it. We did everything he needed us to do. And we got to share a little time with him and pray with him before his departure. And those are the things that we take upon our own self to do, but we also are guided. We get our messages from that phone call, that voice, even the radio and some things. We had a phone one time come on when it was dead, come on and tell us to keep going, because we was going to go and turn into an area that predators could have been at. But the phone came on and said, keep going. So we looked at each other and said, okay. So we didn't turn. We just kept going back to safety.
A lot of people don't know that your father and your grandfather were pastors. And
you know, almost put a...
They would have been so proud with...
I think I may be able to do...
How you talked with Harper.
I just want to see if... Well, it's not there. But yeah, my mother asked me to be a witness many years ago, to go out to the world and to witness things for God. And I accepted those responsibilities at a young age. She told me, she even taught me how to cook. She said, I know you're going to be traveling. I know you're going places. I want you to be able to feed yourself. And she taught me a lot of things, even codes, how to speak different. But she knew I was going to be doing other things than staying in one place.
She taught you how to cook good.
Good. And so it's the Creator, God, is the same. We're praying. When we're praying for what we need. We know we don't see God, but we do see God in different things.
Everything.
And we just have to listen to what's being told to us or what's being shown. And to go. We're supposed to be moving forward, advancing the kingdom. You're going to be okay. Child of God, you're going to be okay. Keep going. Keep setting that standard. Keep standing. Keep doing what you have to do to better everything for everybody.
Keep being a vessel of hope.
A vessel of hope.
The new book that we're working on is called Vessels of Hope versus Agents of Darkness. And every day, you know, we're still writing because there's still every day is new things that we see that need to be addressed. And that's a reason for this tonight too. We haven't even gotten to the real reason for this story tonight yet. So
we go to different places. We help people who need help. People call us all the time just to say, I've got something going on, or would you listen to this, or would you look at this photo, which we do. And if we can get there, we'll get there. But if we can't, the best thing we could do is you got to get the book, watch the channel, or watch the other channel, go through those videos. There's some out here. Go through these videos. Learn as much as you can about something that would harm your family. In this next video, we have another young friend who has passed. And this is also a part of the documentary. It's part of the opening part. And this young man has passed. He's a very great, good guy. He would do anything to help you. And
Great smile.
you would have just thinking about him, you know, you're going to laugh somehow just thinking about him and what he would get into with you. If he was always, when we came and we said, hey, we need to go up here and do some tracking, or we need to go and look at these other areas, he would jump in and let's go.
Let's go.
He was that kind of person. Let's go. And he would take us to places and show us where structures and things were that he knew of. He was helping the best way he could. And we went to his place to help him often, actually.
Yeah, he called for help a lot. And our last, we have some episodes with him on the Jerry Williams YouTube channel also, the interviews with him. But when he passed, he was actively trying to sell his home that was on Green Hill Monster Road. That was the local name for it. It's Green Hill Road, but the locals know it as Green Hill Monster Road because of the monsters clearly that are out in that area. And he wanted to get out of there. In fact, he wasn't even staying there anymore. He had gone on the road with his cousin just to not have to be there.
And well, let's show you this video. And you'll see Josh, and he'll talk about what's going on in his area. One time we had to go to his house because these creatures were knocking on his window, which there was 3 people in the house, and all 3 people did not want to come out, so they called us. Luckily, we was in the area and was there in about 10 minutes. And we had our weapons, our night vision, thermals, and everything.
That was a God thing too, because we would normally be about an hour and a half away.
So let's listen to this video, listen to Josh, and we'll be right back.
2020, and then they started appearing themselves, coming out of the woods.
November of 2020. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're still here. I hear knocks out there at nighttime. Heard some about 5 nights ago. I was sitting out here in the car. And we also have something clawing at cedar trees. I don't know what that would be.
Which one?
Back here behind the fire.
Okay. Okay. I know where that is.
We have.
You can see like the claw marks and the pulls, the scrapes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have where you can see like a big beast has been sitting on a trail. There's 2 spots out here in the woods. Also have some kind of figure of kind of like a stick man that's behind my old house over here, or behind our old house. We've had things like orbs floating around a few times.
What about any red eyes?
Red eyes?
Colored eyes that you can
Colored
see.
eyes? I have seen, look like a red eye just shining back off in towards the woods back there. And then come out and shine my light. And look like something you can see, something just hunched down back there as you go up the hill up there.
Okay.
I've seen foot tracks, and the ashes are in the fire, and the ashes after. Imagine looking over the trailer that we moved, looking in behind the house.
Okay.
I had something at my bedroom window trying to, I want to say like it was trying to pull my AC window or my unit out.
Okay.
Or it was just tapping on it hard. I believe that's it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Josh. I was gonna also say that you remember that time that me and you went inside the older house, your old house, and we both was in there, you know, looking and listening, and then we heard the walking or the creaking of the movement. So and also that usually it comes around the house, right?
Yeah.
And then I know it used to go around those hay bales, but now that you moved that, have you noticed that they've moved further behind those last hay bales to cross over?
They're further in the woods back there.
Okay. So,
And then that spot I want to show you tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
I feel like we got followed out of there last time I was there. I've seen like a monster track.
Mhm. Están bien cerquitas de nosotros. Yeah. Yahweh ta ho yang le ho ta ho yang le Yahweh 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 ta Yahweh Alena, Alena, Yoa, Yoa, Alena, Alena, Yoa, Yoa, Alena, Yaho, Yo.
And as with a lot of things that people see, sometimes people see Indians as different people, but we all know who the creator is. We all know who our enemy is. And when people need our help or our assistance, and if we can get there, and we've told people that if we can get there, we'll get there. But other times, all the time, we're in prayer. But we also get to visit family and friends from time to time. It's either we're going to something or we're coming back from somewhere, but we get to spend time. I'm going to play this next one. This is a church where my cousin had got to pastor for the day. The pastor was out of the area, so he was asked to come in and speak. And I was also asked to sing a song in the language, which other singers were there also. And it has been a while since I sang these songs. But these songs are also the church hymns in a regular English hymn book. It's just sung in the language, the same creator, the same God.
And there were several. There was Chickasaw and Choctaw.
I think there's Kiowa, Comanche was there, different tribes that were there.
And as you watch this, and we had several of the hymns, and they were just so beautiful. As you watch this, I want to say, take a look at this stage close up in the corner. And I mean this in the most respectful way possible. This church puts every dime that they get back into the community, scholarships for students, feeding people. They're not passing a collection plate. They're not ordering the fanciest stuff.
They're not
You can
guilty.
tell they care more
Yeah.
about the community. You can tell they care more about the people than the presentation. And it's a beautiful church. You can just tell, I hope that the community comes together to make sure that their needs are provided for as well, not just always taking from them. So wonderful people, wonderful people.
Mhm. So here is me singing a Choctaw hymn song in, I think it was a Methodist church, right?
Mhm.
One of the Methodist churches that we got to see my cousin pastor that day. And here's the song that I sang, and we're getting to everything.
Also, real quick, his cousin also is a nurse who was there when the
Head nurse.
Oklahoma City bombing happened.
Oh,
And
yes.
this was the anniversary of that day.
Mhm.
And you could see the trauma that was still with him, the PTSD that was still with him later on in his very short, to the point, very moving sermon. You could hear some pastors talk for 3 hours and they would never say what that man did in 3 minutes. And he spoke longer than that. I'm just saying the impact and the feeling. And was he a veteran also? Okay, a teacher and a head nurse. But anyway, this is that same church.
Yeah, he was there as a head nurse. Then he became an instructor. But he was there when the Oklahoma City bombing happening, and he works in the children's department. So they weren't getting the adults; they were getting the children,
The babies.
the babies that were in that explosion. And it was moving to hear, but also sad when he explained that there were some that they could not do anything for, and the children were still asking for help. So you could see that he went back there for a moment, and he was back in that room again.
And that he saw firsthand that common enemy that we all have.
Yeah, the common enemy. So he's helping with the church quite a bit. He always has been, but we was very proud to see him pastoring.
Mhm.
And even though he went through that, it was good that he showed strength and to let everybody know we have to keep moving. And we do not need to be fighting amongst each other.
No, and this goes for denominations within churches too, which was his main point of the sermon. Just not dividing in any kind of way.
And we should not be at any dividing ways right now, especially now. But let's play this real fast. Enjoy the song, and we'll be right back. Shalom Bishop Leto Pama Ishmiti Polacha Atakimba Shapia Ishio Palashki. It was something too, because that was just the first part of that, but the English part would have picked up without the cross, at the cross where I first saw the light. But you can also use that for Amazing Grace also. But we got the opportunity to visit and spend time with family, cousins, friends. Then we had to go to another place to talk to some other young warriors. And I just want to show this one because even though we have traditional war games, our own language and culture and things like that we're sharing all the information. We know what we're up against. We know some people don't even know that the battle is here, the spiritual battle is here.
Already,
we're in it.
Yeah, they keep saying it's coming. We're like, it's here. We're already in it. It's just going to intensify.
We're in it. So we met with a couple of people to talk about future things, but we also had an opportunity to talk with another warrior and a couple warriors. I just wanted to show this because this is a Mississippi Choctaw. I'm Oklahoma Choctaw, even though I'm Oklahoma Mississippi Choctaw. But he is actually living in Oklahoma, originally from Mississippi. I'm from Oklahoma, but I play on Mississippi teams. So we've always been either
back here,
the stickball
stickball.
and the World Series. That we've never been able to, and we like the way each other plays. We know we don't have to worry about each other. We know that person knows what they're doing. I know he knows. So it's less work whenever all the warriors, when all the trackers, when all the people are on the same page and we all know what we're doing. So we finally decided that at least for this 1 year, we're going to play on the same teams. So we had a little talk, and I'm going to be playing of my team is the Warriors, Mississippi. Steve Dixon's the coach there. But also this year I'm going to be playing with the 35 and up with Bochito, which is I can't think of his name as a coach. Let me see. I want to get him. Just take a quick second. But I'm going to also talk to a lot of people, so give me 1 second. Oh, I don't even see it on here. But so I just wanted to show this as we stay united. The tribes are together. We're trying to save a lot of things that a lot of people are getting paid to destroy. And people are even trying to stop us from uniting with everyone else. People are trying to cause every kind of way to interfere, disrupt unity of people. Yeah. And we're doing everything we can to
Stop them
too. But we're letting people know we will make it there. If you need us, we'll make it there somehow. But we're saying we just all can do that. We don't have to say leave that to someone else. We're the ones that are supposed to be out here helping each other.
Yeah, people are so quick to say, well, why does God allow that?
Because
we're here.
Yeah, because you're
Why do we allow it?
Why do we allow it? She is correct. And God gave us the tools. Look at these hands, legs, voice, heart, lungs, blood, water, everything. Perfectly designed to stop things, perfectly designed to help each other. So this is a young man that we talked and we said we're going to be on the same team. It's a unification also between me and my friend. But everyone knows him on the stickball teams, and a lot of them know me. I would say I don't think everyone knows me, but I would say they know of me.
If they don't, they will.
If they don't, they will. But this is me and my friend talking about things that are coming up in the future. And we just want to share this with you real fast. And so not only are we're uniting and us, me and this gentleman, us uniting now, uh, I see really good things because we can count on each other. We know each other. We can count on each other out there. I know there's a lot of great players, a lot of um, players that I've yet to be on the same team with, but we just decided that this will be the year that at least this one year we're gonna share the field together and do our very best, I guess you would say. But also, we're still teaching. He's a teacher. He teaches young students on the game. Uh, if you ever seen his children play, they can play. He's a great player too. But we just continue to teach and share the spirituality, the physical things that we have to do. And whenever we get the opportunity to teach, we do. We had an opportunity to teach another young person about this game who played the game but didn't have the right teacher, I would say. So we got a chance at one of the vending things to stop what we was doing and share some knowledge with another young person. So let's watch this in real fast
Oh, she's sharp.
and you will see this young person.
Now, if you throw down like that, that ball's going to go down. If you throw right there, it'll go there. But if you stop like this, it'll go straight back. So you're going to pick up and throw and stop. All over there? Take off. Hold on. So, what we're going to do is make sure they're all in the tube. Make sure they keep them. Look like this. You're still stopping. If you do that, it'll go straight. Make sure your hands touch that way. Keep your sticks together. Now, put one foot right here. Other foot. Okay, now bring it all the way back. Okay, so we're gonna shoot right past right here. That's what we want our hand. Our hand is right by right here. And then you take forward. Perfect. That's what we're gonna do. Pretty good. Okay, now let's put it together like that.
And so we're teaching, even to the youth, we're teaching. And if you knew about our tracker course, you would know we teach from the very young to around our age, I guess.
And much older.
And
too.
much older,
Yeah.
much older.
And whoever is willing to learn.
Exactly. That's the thing. Whoever's willing to learn. We enjoy teaching everybody, sharing the information.
But we're not going to beg anyone for the knowledge, and we won't put up with disrespect
No,
for, you know.
which no one should have to
No,
put up with disrespect.
none of us, not you or us.
And this takes us to the reason for tonight's stream is that there's a young lady, a Lakota, who just graduated, and we'll share this picture here. The graduating cap, tribal beads taken from this young lady who did her due diligence, did the work, graduated. When she was just about to graduate and get everything finalized, a woman or a supervisor, two of them, came up to that person, took the cap off of the person's head, and it was an eagle plume. And this is a Lakota person, a beaded cap to show her culture, her pride, was taken from her during this ceremony. Very awful behavior from people who don't understand. And there was a big thing about it, which there should have been. And it still has to be corrected because it will still happen again.
And she won't get that memory back.
She could have had the best memories. And she was, to a Native American, that's called an assault and theft of personal items. She did grab the cap, and she actually cut with scissors, cut the plume off of the cap.
The mother, and you'll be able to find that footage, her mother came out and talked about, and it was just heartbreaking, talked about the love and the prayers that went into, and the beating, the work, the prayers, just everything that went into that cap to celebrate that moment for that girl who had worked so hard, that young lady who had worked so hard. It was offensive to the entire family, to everyone, and it should be offensive to every one of us.
Mm-hmm. So this young lady went through this recently, like 2 or 3 days ago.
It hasn't been long.
So these things are still happening today. But these are also things that we can stop.
Mm-hmm.
But we need people out there to let everyone know this is offensive. These things are offensive. Why are we trying to hurt each other? Why are we trying to control each other? Trying to pull someone down who's on the same path or the same level? Everyone tries to put themselves above each other whenever we're all here together, when we still all have that common enemy. But all this division is taken away from our enemy.
If you could see the intricacy of that beadwork, I'm telling you that even if that lady did not know, the lady that actually took the cap, one woman came up and pointed, another woman took it. There is no way she held that in her hands if she had any sort of sensitivity whatsoever, that she could feel the weight of that beading, see the handiwork in that beading, just this, I just don't get how she could even do that. I don't.
But even to cut the feather off, the plume off, that's going a little bit above and beyond.
It is.
You could have still held that cap no matter what.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to start cutting it up and trying to destroy it.
To say they're sorry 2 days later because there's a huge backlash, that's just you're sorry you got in trouble.
Yeah.
That's not an
apology.
No.
And those people who did this are still going to be there.
So the next time a family wants to do that for their child, will they put that effort and that work into it just for it to be destroyed, or they may have that fear that it's just going to be destroyed. Just one more wound,
And that-
unnecessary wound.
Yeah. And there's other tribes who, other schools, other universities, not a problem. But this one went out of their way to do this. And they got caught. Otherwise, this wouldn't be any kind of news whatsoever.
Yeah, the one pointing at it is just as responsible as the one taking it. And if someone sent them down, they're responsible too.
Now, the atrocities and the things that are happening this is Standing Feather Stories. This is behind the scenes. This is things that you're not going to hear about. And these are things that we had to go through to get to where we are now. Another thing that's coming up is the tribes unite to oppose to the Line 5 pipeline. Tribal nations ask Biden administration to condemn the Enbridge Line 5 trespassing pipeline. Every person who is in that area is trespassing. The land didn't belong to them, but they're going to force their way through, just like Standing Rock, because people are not going to stop it. People don't even know that the oil from Keystone is not for you. It's being sold overseas.
Could we show that again? Do y'all read that? After over 500 years, listen to tribes. We cannot drink oil. Could it be any more simple than that?
And do the people, not just Indian people, but the rest of the people, do y'all not understand that you're going to be drinking that oil water? It's going to spill. It's designed to spill. It's designed to contaminate and to make you sick. That's what we're trying to stop for you. And we're willing to get in front of those people who would harm others just to try to protect you, just to try to keep you healthy.
And we're not even touching on the tribes that have the mining that goes on, and the trauma and abuse there, and the theft of their mineral rights, and we're just not even touching on so many of the stories.
And these are all behind the scenes. These are all Standing Feather stories. And this is where the tribe has filed an injunction to get this stopped. I'll blow this part up. It says on Tuesday, February the 27th, 2024, tribal nations across the Great Lakes region joined together to send a letter to President Joe Biden asking the United States as their treaty partner and ally to break its silence and file a brief against the Enbridge 5 pipeline trespass on the Bad River Band's land. If I'm not mistaken, that's over by the Blood Band, which is by some of our trackers areas.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so that's going on right now. The tribes are trying to stop that right now.
They're not fighting just for themselves. They're fighting for God's creation.
Mm-hmm. There's another thing that's going on right now in Standing Feather Stories. This is the Peace and Dignity Journeys. Oh, I just got in contact with them, so you see my message. It says, this is Lead Horse, wish you all well. And here is a note from that Facebook group page. It talks about if you're going to be a runner, because they need runners to help continue, that some people are giving them gas money so that they could go there and run a certain amount of miles. The next one is Pete Stafford. He was on one of the Peace and Dignity runs. And this goes all the way to South America. I have many friends in South America that this group will be going to go see. This is why we're going to keep up with their journeys. We know there's going to be people trying to interfere with them, some trying to hurt them, and a lot of them are going to be trying to ridicule them, and of course use foul language against these peace and dignity journey runners. And they're doing it for peace and dignity. They're not doing it to hurt anybody.
Right.
They're trying to bring peace to everybody, to saying we're not the enemy. We have an enemy. But we like to have friends keep up with this. And if you do get information, let us know. But these people have taken times out of their life to run, to walk, to bring peace to everybody. At the same time, they're going to be going through a lot of physical and spiritual wear and tear, because I was on some of those before. While they're putting their bodies through this for everybody to bring peace to each other, we still have these things going on
Right.
here. We still have these things going on here. So tonight is about standing together, not letting anything interfere with our focus on who our true enemy is, and that we keep our peace with each other. When I first went to South America, I took a paper that said, if there's any wars that break out, it's not our people. It's a corporation, it's mercenaries, it's people like that who would come. It's not us. And everyone that I met all the way to Honduras agreed to keep their peace with us. So we have peace right now. We have peace, but then we also have people still trying to cause us to divide or to cause us harm. And I don't mean just us as Indian people. I'm talking about all of us.
God's children.
God's children. And there is a difference. God's children and everybody else. But we have our own opportunity, our own chance to fix everything. We don't need people here who's going to harm us or to destroy or to give us water or things that is going to kill us and hurt us and harm us. So we just wanted to share this unity with you tonight, that these things don't have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We can be so much further than where we are today. That thing that happened with that young lady seems like it's a Stone Age time ago, but it's happening here today. And people have allowed it to happen. If this person wasn't caught, this would have continued.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
And this person felt like they had the authority to attack another person. And they don't have that authority or permission. So let's.
I would like to, while we were on,
You want to get some comments?
sure. And then we'll do this, but we will do this before we hang up.
Okay, we're
Before
gonna do the comments now, and then we've got a message that we're going to also read, and then we'll have our closing prayer and then our closing video.
So for those of you that are wondering what you can do, think of even the letters that those children wrote that were encouraging to these people that were going through that. Every one of you clearly has a computer and access to the internet. You could send encouragement. You could, a lot of you like to get political, and we don't actually believe in either party. We don't trust. It's two wings of the same buzzard. You know, there's no, yeah, I won't go there, but you like to get active in that way, and some of you like to fuss and gripe in that way. Well, here's a cause to get behind. Clean water, that's surely something that we can all agree on, that we all need clean water to drink. Okay.
Let me get to the comments. And
so that we don't miss any, if you have questions, rewrite them now and put them in all caps, and we'll be more likely to see them at the end. We're just going to shout out to the people in the room and thank you all for being here. We have War Chief Tracker C.
Lorna.
We don't have any moderators set up on this page yet, but it's been, it looks like it's been a great chat. We'll get that. We'll get some of you. We'll get our team as moderators soon. Tracker Lorna is here. Let's see. JR is here.
Isla Wren.
All
right. And CT. All right.
Truth Walker.
Oh, she says that her dog's ears are
perked up from the howling sounds. Yeah, from the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CT says click the like button. Please, yes, do click the like button and make sure that you're subscribed and set the alarm. And then do the same on Jerry's channel also.
Please do that. And Truth Walker saying hello to everybody. And CT saying those sounds are something horrible. Yes, they are, and they come from monsters. And that's also, calling them cryptids is too nice. These are creatures. These are predators. These are monsters.
And they're more than just a physical being. They're not only physical.
And that's why we don't say dog man. The dog man is too nice for these things.
We love dogs.
We love dogs. We call them walking wolves because if you see these things, they're not
They're predators.
They're predators. They're wolves. Ren saying hello.
Oklahoma Adventures is here.
Hey, they're scared silly.
Hey, scared silly.
What was this for medicine man? I don't know what.
We're not sure where that scared silly. We're not sure where that comment goes in the stream tonight.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bernard's here.
Hey, Bernard. Always good to see you. Scared Silly says, my sister Natalie made a sign and stood at a 4-way stop. She did this for 2 weeks. Little white girl, but we have native blood. Stood by herself in the little bitty locust community. That's wonderful.
Well, I'm very proud of your sister, Natalie.
Respect.
Yeah. And even holding up signs for God takes courage.
You bet it does.
And until it is no longer, the courage is no longer needed. But just like God was saying, I can't think of which one it was. He just said, get up and go out there. I'll be with you. Just get up. Get up.
Yeah. He said it in a million different ways.
Mm-hmm. He said, I will show you God is with you. I will show them God is with you and that you are protected.
Lisa Lou's here.
Where? Sure is.
Way down. Hey, Lisa Lou.
Lisa Lou, one of our favorite people.
She said, I love his story. So proud of him.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh,
Scared Silly says she sent the monies to a Lakota school. She was a proud little woman. That's
oh.
so great.
She
Scared
says,
Silly says, yes, dirty deeds. They probably blocked all signals from getting out. Yes, they do that. And they also do that in heavily infested predator areas also.
mm-hmm.
Lisa Lou says, it's awful that they were treated like that. The evil, greedy blanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
we agree. Scared Silly says, whoops, a Lakota elementary school, and most do not even have running water and everyday essential water. Water is life, right? Yeah, I got chills. It certainly is.
Mhm.
Scared Silly says, tornado on the ground in Arapahoe, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
We
Those
pray
are
that
those are dangerous times
covering,
and
yeah.
places with the predators, because even if people think that it's a tornado, sometimes these predators tearing down houses and ripping trees apart.
And predators follow storms because they know that there will be death, or that there will be easy prey.
Yeah.
Sherry Griffey, we'll be hearing from her in just a few minutes.
All right, Sherry. Hey, Lamont
Lamont
Sherry. Actually, Sherry, if you're still here, we're going to be doing some light tracking, and we'd like to talk to you about a piece of property.
Cherie says, Jerry, did you ever find out why Obama came to the tribe and what money was exchanged for? I don't believe the reason we were told it was for.
That was to let a pipeline go through in Florida. The tribe here was involved in that. I believe the picture was there too. They called them the 12 disciples of Obama because they had 12 chiefs with him, and they were doing all that as much money as he was given, they were agreeing.
Sellouts.
Sellouts. Hey, Bob is here.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Says hello, everyone.
So
Sherry says, we are the same. We believe the same.
Yep, sure do.
The same creator made us.
And yes, Tracker Lorna, rest in peace, Harper,
Parkway, Josh.
Parkway,
We've lost
Josh.
a lot of people in the last
Sure have.
Crossed over.
A lot of good people.
War Chief says, we are all brothers and sisters in the eyes of Savior Jesus Christ and our Father God, the Creator. Amen.
Amen. Hey, Tracker A is here.
Hey, Tracker A. Where'd we miss her? Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. And
always good to hear from you.
Who's this?
This is Just Men. Says, hello, I'm here randomly because I searched for a lots of Bigfoot videos.
Oh.
Well, we're glad you're here, Just Men.
Yeah.
Tonight wasn't fully focused on Bigfoot, but we hope you appreciated it just the same.
Mm-hmm.
CT says, Just Men, if you would like to know about what is out there, listen and watch Jerry Williams, Bigfoot Expert. Right.
And we also have the other channel. Also.
And we have a book. We have the Jerry Williams channel. That's our main channel. It's got a lot more videos. This one we're building up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for that, CT. Just Men says, hi, War Chief Tracker C. Okay, sounds good. Putting phone down to listen and pay attention. All right.
Oh,
you fit
great.
in just great.
Yeah, you fit in great.
We didn't even have to do the lecture to
I know. I don't think we
tonight.
did.
Usually when we come into chat, we're like, okay, now once a lesson starts or once a story starts, keep it down in chat until the end, so nobody gets distracted, including us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Drunken.
CT says you need to watch the other videos too, not just only this one.
Yes, and on both channels, please, the videos and the lives.
Yeah.
Drunken Squirrel says, greetings, everyone.
Hey, Drunken Squirrel.
Vicky and hubby Steve here, listening to you on our old phones too.
Hey, all right, those old phones.
Glad you're here.
God bless everyone here. All right.
Amen to
that. The word game is called Capucha Towa. It's an ancient game that we still use for conditioning and competition against other tribes to be physically fit and ready for war.
Sherry says, do you teach online to cover long distance challenges? Do you mean our tracking course? In that case, yes, we do. If that's what you're talking about, Sherry.
Yeah. Or it's also called stickball, as War Chief had said, but the traditional is Capucha Toa, but it just means stickball. And everybody saying hello.
Sherry says, I would consider that an assault and offense as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lamont Cherie says, where was the graduation at? Oh, I don't remember the town right. Oh, Farmington, New Mexico. Thank you, War Chief.
Lorna's saying hello to everybody. Oklahoma Adventure, Scared Silly, Bernard, Lisa, Lou, Sherry, Lamont, Sherry, Bob, Tracker A, Just Men, Drunken Squirrel. Hey, Lorna. We've got a question.
Are there descendants of a really tall family that fought for the 3 Bigfoot in the Choctaw incident?
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of tubbies. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I haven't talked to any personally, but I do know that there are tubby families. Drunken Squirrel.
Love and prayers. War Chief says, I always love to hear the Choctaw war yell.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Choctaw war cry, yes.
Yeah.
Some people thought he was whooping for Bigfoot, but we don't do that, and that's not what he was doing. That was more like a declaration at the end of actually moving them out of some property.
We were saying we're ready.
Stay away.
Put up or shut up.
Joyce is here. Hey,
Hey, Joyce.
She says, great show. Thank you for everything you shared. Thank you so much. Always encouraging. Just Men says, I think the name is Tubby. Yes.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello to Joyce.
Tracker M is with us. That's Tracker M, I believe.
Oh, all right. He's saying hello, brother.
Glad you're here.
And Just Men said he's still here and he appreciates it.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And Joyce says blessings, Tracker Lorna. Sherry says yes, your tracker course.
Yes. Just about everybody was long distance.
Yeah, it's the first time we did a tracker course online.
There's several of our trackers in the room, and they can attest that we make it work.
Yeah, and if you are interested by everything that we've seen, because we do pay attention, that we think you would be a great candidate to be a tracker. And you do the physical stuff at your home. We teach you everything you need to know online. And if any of the trackers in the room, they can tell you it's a 5-month course, about 3 hours every Saturday. For 5 months. And we start with the ancient information to the present of where the DNA, the origins come from the predators, to tracking our abilities, our natural abilities, and things that no one else knows in the world. A lot of it, though, we have put in the book, and the trackers also use this book because we go over a lot that's in here to keep each other safe. But yes, we do it online. It's for 5 months. We're not sure when the next one is because we also will be having our first annual tracker meet and greet in October. So if we was to have one, it would have to be around June or July to be completed before the first annual meet and greet. And I can't wait for that because we're going to have a lot of trackers in here, and we've got some land that I would just love to take about 15, 20 people through.
Not all in one group.
Would
you at first? Yeah, we don't usually
just to clear
just
this land out, build a big old
we're
line, and everybody just walk. saying just tromping through, just like I'm just going to tromp through here with about
Push
20
them out.
people just to push
But
them
that's
off.
not
the-
how we would recommend
No. That's not-
tracking. We go quietly in
Yeah.
small groups, but this would be for a different purpose.
yeah, this is to show.
And we'd also talked about surrounding and all moving towards each other. We're working out some thoughts on that.
Bigfoot expert Jerry Williams, lead tracker E. Let me go ahead and put those channels.
I put yours in there.
Oh, did you?
I just did. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm
Mhm.
about to put the link for our book also. You'll give us just a second, please. I'm trying to find a short.
Where she said he is ready, and we know, and we can't wait till you get here, and we can't wait until the entire team gets here. It's gonna be one of those times that we're gonna have to do a lot of filming because of what's gonna happen to have that many trackers in one area. Drunken Squirrel says, "Could an old squirrel be a tracker?"
Yes.
We don't know how old this squirrel is, but I think I think the age was about 70 something
Getting up there close to 80.
in our last course.
There are still ways that you can be a part. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you don't have to. I mean, you do the tracking and stuff that we give you homework to do, but it's not to be out there in the mountains and everything while this course is going on. We teach you things that you can do around the house
around your area,
around
your
your area.
property, your
safely
town.
before you graduate.
There's absolutely things that you can be doing. Even if you live in a city, there are things that you can be doing because these things are out by dumpsters, and this knowledge will not go to waste.
Mm-hmm. So
I
yes,
just put in the link that I just put in is for our book, the one that says tiny URL.
Okay. And it says no food too right.
No what?
Food too right. I'm not sure about that.
No food too, right? We're not sure what part of our video you were asking that question for, CT. Maybe some of the people that are without utilities and water, maybe that part.
Maybe. Yeah.
War Chief says, I'm 70
Yeah, no
years
food too
young,
right. Yeah.
DS.
Yeah, there you go, Drunken Squirrel. So, and War Chief, I don't see 70 there.
Not at all.
That.
War Chief, you won't know this, then he is the only person we have ever heard of that has actually hooked a Bigfoot with his fishing pole.
That close.
And that story is also on the Jerry Williams channel in that link. So look for that one under the live streams. Be sure you check out videos and live streams.
Mm-hmm.
CT says the book is an excellent book. Thank you, CT.
And there's a link.
Oh, yeah, that's the link to the book.
Okay.
And then CT says when you are tracking, yes, we don't take food with us when we're tracking. No, we don't. We try to avoid camping, and really, unless we're pushing something else, we try to avoid night tracking too. We will go as a support team for Jose and Tanya from time to time, and also thank you, Jose and Tanya, for some of the clips in some of our videos. Is they're great videography, and thank you for that. And War Chief says yes, in 1974 is when he hooked that the predator Bigfoot, and he turned around, and he was belly button high to it, and he was a 6 foot tall young man. So imagine that.
And we got a message, so we want to read that also.
Yes,
real
while
fast.
we were in this stream, Sherry, who is in here, Sherry Griffey, sent this message and this poem, this divinely inspired poem, because how on earth she wrote this so quickly is just amazing. That can only be God. Anyway, she says, I'm moved by your live and information shared. I was compelled to write this for you and Jerry. What you share is stirring and heartwarming. I will log this into my works and share as I feel compelled to. You have my permission to take this poem, portions of it or all of it, and use it as you want in any capacity. Well, we're about to use it right now. This is from Sherry Griffey. In the twilight of our era stands the last man, strong and sure, his voice a beacon in the night, his counsel clear and pure. Survival hinges on our bond, and safety comes from trust. But not all hearts are true and kind. Not all are shaped from dust. Among us, some wear shadows deep, their motives dark and sly. They smile as friends, but turn in spite, their hearts a hidden lie. Beware the ones who feast on greed with eyes that never see. Their minds enslaved to corporate chains, their souls unbound, unfree. But heed this truth, my brethren dear, we mustn't turn on kin, for while we fight among ourselves, our foes find ways to win. Our knowledge sacred, ancient, wise, we share this holy ground. A common enemy we face in forms both man and hound. In Satan's guise they roam the earth, in human, beastly frame. Yet we are armed with faith and light, we call them by their name. United we must stand as one, show courage, banish fear. For when one of us engages them, the rest must persevere. No room for petty hatred now, for racism's grim stain. We are the same in faith and hope, in love we break each chain. Child of God, press on, be strong, a vessel pure and bright. For in your hands the flame of hope will vanquish darkest night. Learn well the ways to guard your kin, to shield them from all harm. For in this war of spirit fierce, let love become your arm. Keep focused on the true enemy, let no discord take root. Together we shall stand as one, and Satan's hordes uproot. I was covered in chills the whole time I read that.
Wow, I got some
That's
too.
unbelievable. Thank you, Lord, and thank you, Sherry.
I got tingles. I got tingles all the way through.
Yeah, we're gonna be used. That's just beautiful.
Mm.
That wraps the entire message straight up.
So we also want to finish with this last video. And thank you for that, Sherry. That was amazing how you
Divinely inspired.
got, I mean, it's just, wow.
How'd you do that fast?
Yeah, I know.
Those are the ones that come through you in spirit. You know, inspiration is the spirit. Oh, and that's what happened, and God bless you for it.
That's right.
Drunken Squirrel says, Holy Spirit is here. It's Pentecost today.
Oh, wow. Sherry says, I got chills from you reading
I still got them.
It's from God. Yes, it just, and it flows so perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so awesome.
Been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster for me on this one tonight.
Yeah, there was a lot of good things. So we want to show you this last video, and then we'll come back with last comments, and then we will close in prayer.
Yep.
And we will meet y'all again very soon. But remember, everything that we do, everything that the people help and support us, you see what we do. There hasn't been any place too far yet, but we've expanded with more trackers. So they're in more areas. So we're able to help through them They help us in the same way. So if we can't help you here, they're closer. And that's what we want to do. We want to build more people up with the information, the correct information, so that we know what to do and that we are prepared for these stands that we're going to be making. And some of us have already made those stands, but we're willing to get out there and do it again. So we're going to play this last video, and then we're going to come back with
Final comments.
final comments. Now, this is actually the last and the closing of the Bigfoot documentary. In the Bigfoot documentary, we show you what and where these creatures hide, where to find them if you need to find them, and what to do, and how to track. Many things in the Bigfoot documentary shows you what the book tells you. So they go hand in hand. And also we are having, again, the May sale, so that you get the autographed book and and the Bigfoot documentary. Basically 2 in 1.
The documentary came first, and we later followed it up with a book, and we are in the process of writing another book which delves even deeper into the spiritual warfare part.
And if you have this first one, you'll understand the second one, but the second one, if you don't have the first one, may cause a couple problems. So if you can, we have it on sale now. Get it before this next one comes out, so that you're flowing and you're ready to keep going and gaining more information and more knowledge of what we all need to know. So in this last video, it's the closing of the Bigfoot documentary. And then we will get back with the comments and the closing prayer.
Word. Cover windows, especially at night. Listen to your children. Connect with your neighbors. Clean your areas up. Predators cannot survive in a clean area. Teach your children not to play games like peekaboo, Simon Says, hide and seek, tag, Red Rover, or chase. Choctaw people, continue to teach the war games. Teach the children tracking, predator sequences, bird language, shadow language, mixed martial arts, mind protection techniques, spirituality, translucent viewing, tree language, wind language, star language, cosmology, deciphering hieroglyphs, weapons training, gardening. Teach to use their body's natural abilities to heal and detect predators, including translucent predators. Tell them the story, the legend of time, so they will always have the beginning to always be. And most importantly, to never give up or lose hope.
Celestial love, watch as the moon and the sun collide over northern lights, like Pablo Picasso painting the night across the open water. The roots give birth to the dancing leaves, whispering to each other. Our hearts are breaking as our mother grieves, and she cries, and she cries, and she cries. I only gave you one earth, one sky. You've got to share it. The ground burns, the heavens cry. You must repair it. Children's lives are all distraction. She's given all things like sweet salvation. Let's take our wrongs and make it right. Material distractions, blinding our naked hearts from the truth, cause a chain reaction that steals the captive fate of our youth. And she cries, and she cries, and she cries. I only gave you one earth, one sky. You've got to share it. The ground burns, the heavens cry. You must repair it. Your children's lives are on the line. So raise your voice, it's time for us to unite. This is our war cry. Let's come together, let's raise our voice tonight. This is our war cry. Let's come together, let's raise our voice tonight. This is our war cry.
And that was the ending of the Bigfoot documentary. Because we do let you know that veterans, military veterans, are out here tracking things that need to be known. We do this especially for God, to show everyone what's going on so that you're not caught out there unaware. And that's the main thing for us, is to share this information so that you have it, so that your family has it, to protect you and your family. There's so many things in the book that is life-saving.
And there's so many things in this book that if it wasn't important, he wouldn't have bothered to warn us. He wouldn't have bothered to warn us, as in the days of Noah, and also after that, or about the book of Revelations. You might as well read the front page of anything, you know.
So let's take the last comments, but that was the last or the ending of the Bigfoot documentary. So if you have it, you understand that part. And if you didn't, then you got to see that we just came out of the field on that last bit. We just come out of the field helping another friend. Lots of Bigfoot activity and other monster activity. That we just came out of the field, and we was going to our last stop to gas up and head back out. And so we started filming on that way, and because it was dark and cloudy and everything, and we just, the light just shined on us for helping people. It was what's the word for it?
It was just wonderful. I remember we were laughing and like, thank you.
Like, we just
You're
come
so
out
cool.
of the,
You're so cool.
and we just come out of the darkness.
Yeah.
And
it was a perfect wrap up to the video.
It was. And we said, that's it. That's right there. That's the ending right there. Let's take these last comments and see where we're at. Let's see. War Chief was saying, that's beautiful, Sherry.
Absolutely.
It was very beautiful, and we want to thank you for that. We don't see how you did.
We're not done with that poem.
Yeah, it's going to continue.
Yeah. Sherry says, I was taking notes during your podcast. It formed and flowed like nothing else.
Oh, wow.
We believe it. Clearly it was amazing. And JR says, well done. Beautiful Sherry says, War Chief, I got to catch up to your.
Tracker Lorna.
Tracker Lorna says, Sherry, beautiful poem. Drunken Squirrel says, yes, amen.
And Joyce.
Joyce says, Sherry, that poem was anointed.
It
Yeah.
sure was.
Sherry says, all of him, none of me. I love and serve my God. Yeah, that's why we're saying you would be a great candidate too.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what you're going through, we see you being a vessel of hope for other people. Oh, I got chills again. Goodness. War Chief says, a blessing to all and keep the armor of God on at all times. Absolutely. That's in the book too. It's in both books.
In both books, yeah, we talk about that.
If you can only get 2 books in your life, get this one first and this one second.
Okay, so we'll have our closing prayer.
Yep.
And we will see everybody again very soon.
Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for coming over to this channel. We know that's not the normal channel that we're on, and we do appreciate it. We're trying to build this one up as well so that we have a backup channel. And there'll be some things that'll be on here that won't be on the other one and vice versa. So thank you, every one of you, new and our treasured longtime viewers and friends and family. We love you all, and we'll go ahead and say our closing prayer. Father, there's just no words to oh my goodness, there's just no words to express the gratitude, Father. I can't believe sometimes the path that I'm on, and no matter how difficult it's been nothing compared to what other people have gone through, Father. And we thank you for your hand of protection over everyone. We thank you for the times you've been there, even when they were being harmed. We know that you were there. And that you don't promise us that there won't be trouble. You promise us that you will be there with us in trouble. And the only thing that you've asked, the only thing that Yeshua has asked is to love you and to love each other. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. And Lord, people complicate it. They complicate religion. They complicate spirituality. They complicate you. They complicate your word. They complicate everything. Just help us to stop it. And Lord, thank you for saying, unless we become like little children, we're not going to see the kingdom of heaven. And it's because little children are just pure and to the point, and they cut through all the nonsense. Help us all to be like that, Lord. And children have pure faith, and they never run out of hope. Children have so much hope. And Lord, we're trying to protect the water. And, you know, a lot of Christians, they're like begging to get out of here. Lord, come back. Lord, come back so that we can get out of here. Well, there's babies yet to be born. There's descendants yet to be born. There's souls yet to be saved. So if everyone would just stop begging for the madness that is going to happen, we've got a little more time, because you want no one to be lost. You want all your children to be safe and to have the same protection. We just thank you, Father, that you let us play even a small role in this. And we thank you that you, we thank you that we don't have to be perfect to talk about you. And that if any of us waited to be perfect and to be flawless and to be sinless, we would never even step our foot out the door. You know, we would never talk about you. We don't have to be that way. We strive to be that way. But we don't have to be that way before we worship you and before we do the things that you want us to do. You'll help us work out the kinks and you'll help us know the next steps. And we thank you for the people that you allowed us to have. We thank you for the people that you allowed us to have in our life, even if it was for a short while, Lord. And we trust that their souls are with you. We just thank you for it all, Lord. We thank you for it all. We thank you for it all. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So we thank all of you. God bless every single one of you. And you do what you can with what you have where you are. There's always some way that you can help someone. What we do now is anyone new to the channel, we go and we help people who nobody else will listen to. When they're trying to say there's monsters in my wood line and they're stalking my children and they're tapping on my window and they're watching my kids and they're watching the elderly at night, they're watching my mama and nobody's listening to them. We go do what we can to push back, to give them the validation that they need, to help them understand what they're looking at, to find where the sources of evil in this situation are. Everybody's going to have their own purpose, their own skill set, their own qualities that God gave you, your own talents, your own passions, and he gave those to you so that you will have, if you're listening, you will have your direction of how you need to help others, of what you're going to be good at. And you may not even start out good at it. I hated it if I was in church and someone asked me to pray, like in Sunday school, to pray out loud. And that was such a struggle for me, and I resisted. And I'm ashamed of that. It's still not easy, but we're not called to just only do what's easy. We're supposed to be warriors. We're supposed to be tough. We're not supposed to be, even though I'm crying tonight, we're not supposed to be sad sack, defeated people that just give up. Oh, the world's just run by nothing but evil. There's no, we're supposed to be doing something about it, not just sit back and pray for death. Come on. So thank you guys, and we love you, and thank you for being here, and thank you. And thank you to every warrior out there who has fought battles that no one ever even knew about. Just God bless you all.
Thank you, and everyone have a great night. See you soon, warriors.
Good night, warriors. I think this is about where we heard the coyotes.